You are now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
Orgasms. Have you had one? I sure hope you have. That is the subject today, particularly the anatomy of an orgasm. But before we get there, yes, you are watching and listening to the Mike's Opinion podcast, and I thank you for doing so. This episode is not for children. Only the grown and sexy. So if you got your kids with you, don't listen to this episode. Listen to another one of my episodes. I've got a couple episodes with my kids, with my child, and with my nieces. And definitely there's some kid-friendly, children-friendly episodes out there. This ain't one of them. How are you doing? You know, I always want to know, how are you doing? I really hope you're doing well. I hope that you're doing great. Now, I got the lights low, got honey dip in the background. But ladies, you could imagine him to be that black, beautiful black skin, to be whatever you want it to be, you know? But we're here. And we're going to talk about orgasms. Now, I've heard that there are women out there that have never experienced an orgasm. And for that, I say, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you. But women are complicated. Yeah. Men got one button, one switch. Boop. That's it. Women, and this is generally speaking, of course, and I mean no offense, but y'all have all kind of switches and dials and levers and contraptions and ooh, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Love y'all to death. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that wholeheartedly. I can't really state that enough. As a matter of fact, you know, a round of applause to my ladies. Yeah, because that goes out to all of y'all. I told my wife today, and my wife and I is cool like that. Go back and listen to, I put it up as a best of episode, but it's an old episode called We Just Had Sex, and you can better understand the relationship between my wife and I. But, you know, I was out and about today running some errands, and, you know, I'm born and raised in New York City, but I'm from, born and raised in New York City, but I live in Dallas, outside of Dallas now, and it's hot. It's hot. You know, summer's first day of summer. And, you know, shout out to you, first day of summer. Hope you have a great one. Hope you don't get heat stroke. You know, all the heat-related diseases. But there were plenty of ladies out there scantily clad, you know, wearing next to nothing, walking their walk. And it was a beautiful sight. I came home and said, yo, wife, you should have went with me, because it was looking good out there. And she's like, for real? I was like, yeah, you know, we just talk like that. And I like to look, you know, I ain't really looking for nothing in particular. If it falls in my lap, boom, so be it. And, you know, wifey approves, but wifey takes exemplary, wonderful care of me. So, you know, I can't say I'm looking for that, but like she said, I'm greedy. I admit it. I'm a man. I am a man. I'm a healthy male. And yes, it is what it is. I don't apologize for it. You can call me whatever you want. Call me a dog. You just dog. No, because I'm not into quantity anymore. I'm into quality. And like I said, on the real talk, I'm good at home. So any extra, it's got to really be, got to really be some real good quality. And maybe wifey can get involved. But anyway, I digress as I normally do. Today is about the orgasm. And as I always do with any episode, I always like to give the definition in case you don't know. I hope you know. I hope you're very familiar with an orgasm. But the definition of orgasm, and there are a couple that I found, and I'm getting a little long in the tooth, so I'm put on my glasses so I can read this to you. One of the definitions was orgasm or sexual climax is the sudden discharge of accumulated sexual excitement during the sexual response cycle, resulting in rhythmic, involuntary muscular contractions in the pelvic region characterized by sexual pleasure. And my glasses are dirty. There is another definition that I found on dictionary.com that says intense or paroxysmal excitement, the rapid pleasure release of neuromuscular tensions at the height of sexual arousal that is usually accompanied by the ejaculation of semen in the male and vaginal contractions in the female. There's more to that for the female as well, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Even more interesting to me was another definition, and this one came from dictionary.com, and I laughed when I read it because, well, I'll read the definition first, then you'll know why I laughed. The physical, according to dictionary.com, the definition of an orgasm is the physical and emotional sensation experienced at the peak of sexual excitement, usually resulting from stimulation of the sexual organ and usually accompanied in the male by ejaculation, period. I laugh because they don't mention nothing about the female orgasm. Like they was scared, like they're scared to touch that subject. Like the female orgasm, we ain't messing with it. Okay? We don't want to have nothing to do with that. Y'all can work that out on your own. And do you know why that is? As you saw by the little graphic that I made, it takes a lot. And to my brothers out there, to my mans out there, I wanna just start with y'all when I talk about the anatomy of an orgasm. And before I really get started, I just want to tell you, I don't mean to offend anyone. And a lot of this information is based on, like I said, the definitions that I gave and my personal experience as a human being having a life on earth. It may not apply to you. It just might as well. So, to my dudes out there, to my males out there, if you struggle to please a woman, let me help you. And you say, yo, Mike, what qualifies you to teach me how to satisfy my woman? Well, that's why I said the anatomy of an orgasm for this episode, because in most cases, and yes, it can be raw physical, but to really get a woman to have that earth shaking, soul touching remember forever, it don't even start with the physical. Ladies, chime in. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Hit me up on the socials, anywhere. Email me, mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. I'm not hard to find. You can contact me. Chime in. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong. But the women that I've experienced, and is generally accepted, women are very in touch and in tune with their feelings, with their emotions. They don't run from them. They don't ignore them. They give in to them. They relate to them. They are in touch with them solidly. So before you ever touch a woman, if you touch her here and here, oh, it's a wrap. By the time you get to the physical, you're already halfway there. You hear what I'm saying? And, for me, I've always been genuine in my expression of interest. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying one liners. Even back in the days when I was in the club, I said what I felt. I said what I meant. I wasn't just trying to trick you to bed you. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And maybe that's my thing. My sincerity is my thing. Because I was attracted to you. It's sincere. And I'm gonna let you know. Because some of y'all, and I'm a lucky man because my wife is absolutely included in what I'm about to say, but some of y'all look so good. It's really hard to explain. Like my wife, one of the perils of living with a beautiful, highly attracted, well-built woman is I get distracted every day. And we've been together for 13 years. And I'm still like, yeah, ooh. And I doubt that will ever change. From her feet to her hair and everything in between, I am in awe. And I love her body. I love her body. I love her face. She's absolutely beautiful. And there are many, many beautiful women out there. I'm just thinking about this song where I think Wayne and it wasn't Miguel. I can't remember who it was, but I want to fuck every girl in the world. I get it. A lot of dudes get it. It was a popular song because, and y'all just be like, a lot of women like, just dogs. You want to hump everything. How can we? Have you seen you? Do you see you? Think I don't want to touch it. Come on now. And yes, I have self-control. So anyway, attention to detail is extremely important. And this goes for both men and women when trying to please your partner. And when it comes to the anatomy of an orgasm, I've said, and this episode is mostly for my dudes, but women can probably learn something too. But it's a lot to do before you even get to the touching. If like this woman is a priority to you, maybe she wifey material, you really want to please her and make her remember and forget everybody else. Like I said, stimulate the senses, stimulate the mind, stimulate the soul, stimulate her emotional being, touch her heart before you ever touch her physically. And that may come in a variety of ways because you have to learn what pleases that woman. It might be fine dining. Hopefully, it ain't shopping. Because, ooh, I'm hearing all kinds of like girls is like cash at me, Venmo me before we do anything, and then they'll do anything. They really about their money, like they're not about relationships, and that seems to be popular amongst the younger crowd. And I feel a little sorry for them, but hopefully that's the minority and not the majority, even though it seems to be the majority. I rarely listen to terrestrial radio, but all these radio songs that I hear, I want the bag, I don't need no dude, da 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 da. And I'm like, yo, there's a saying, I keep saying I'm gonna find this saying, but like um, you know, the worth of a people can be measured in the character of its women. And if that's the case, then we are going to hell in a handbasket. Now, this don't apply to all women, even all young women. I know, but it seems to be a popular sentiment. And if all women value is money and materialistic things, then that ain't it. Because looks gonna fade, the money's gonna either be there or not. There's only so many round the world trips you can have. So many, what I don't even know what's hot, Birkin bags and Coach. I mean not Coach, Gucci and Louis, and you know how many houses you can have, how many whips can you have, how much jewelry, how many diamonds, da, 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 until you realize it's people that ain't never had that realize that it don't mean nothing. It's nothing. You've had it. Boom. It's sitting in the jewelry. You know, uh, jewelry case. Oh, you know. I mean, it's material things mean nothing. And I'm so fortunate. You know that my wife, she likes nice things, but she could really care less. She's about the time we spend together. And and you can't take none of it with you. You know. So hopefully it's not shopping that excites that woman. You might want to back up from that one. And she's like, take me here, buy me this. Oh, I like that. I need a new this. It's nothing wrong with not liking nice things. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying, um, I dated a professional woman, and I'm not gonna call her out in case she sees this, but when I say professional, I'm talking the level of judge, accountant, doctor, lawyer. She was one of those. And I left after a year or two because she was so focused on the next achievement. She really had no idea on how to love a man, love this man. I can't say about any other man, but this man. I'm spoiled. I like love and affection. Like that was that song by Future or Rihanna and Future. I hope I'm not sounding too desperate, but I need love and affection. I'm an affectionate man. I like to be touched, rubbed, caressed, hugged, kissed. That's how I was raised. You know how you were raised is so important. I know y'all like, Michael, Mike, what you talking about? This ain't about an orgasm. It's all connected. It's all interwoven, interrelated. So because I got love at home, um, that's what I like. I like affection. So um, I had to leave her because on paper she was great. She was also well built, beautiful, beautiful young lady. But um, I just couldn't do it because I wasn't being fulfilled. I wasn't being taken care of. I didn't feel the love. Her love was like, here's a couple new suits, something like that. Thank you, but we all have different needs. And this is the point I'm making. With the person you with, you need to know their needs, their desires, their dreams. You need to cater to those. And my dudes, like I said, hopefully you can do things to dazzle this woman before you ever get to touch it. And here's a trick. Here's a tip. The first time the intimacy is being made available to you and she's ready to knock boots, and you like, yo, Mike, don't nobody say knock boots no more. So what? I said it. You know what I'm saying? Sexy time, as this beautiful woman I know says. Um, if you're having sexy time and sex is about to happen, and it's your first time with this woman you've been dating, or even if it's love at first or lust at first sight, and you're about to get to the point making out, and then stop and say, not yet. I gotta go. And leave. Or escort her out if she at your crib. Now you can wait anywhere from 10 minutes to 10 days because you don't want that window to close, but you want to control that situation. Generally speaking, most of us still adhere to some form of traditional role, and the women will allow the man to lead, to have that control, to be a man. When you do that, the next time that environment presents itself, her anticipation is going to be ready, heightened. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what it actually takes to get someone to orgasm. Like I've said, I'm talking females only because I'm as straight as they come. I'm not going there. If do you, whoever you are, I have no judgment on who you are. It's hard to keep up, but lesbian, gay, bi, queer, non-binary, whoever you are, be you. I love you. But in this instance, because it's my experience, I'm talking about straight heterosexual, which may become the minority the way things seem to be going. Anyway, I digress, as I normally do. So, but I will talk about the how, because the orgasm, and I said I was going to get back to something, based on that definition, they talked about vaginal contractions. Well, popular these days are female ejaculations, otherwise known as squirting, which is a completely different type of orgasm. I've heard, and I can't remember where I heard this from, but I've heard an analogy. A male orgasm is like playing a single instrument. A female orgasm is like an entire symphony, like a whole orchestra. I'm not a female. I don't know. I love when I bust one. I don't know why I said buzz a bust. Busta Rhymes ain't in here. Anyway, I don't know why. Orgasms are so great. Don't you agree? They are so intense sometimes, so great. The episode before this one last week was, Does God Exist? And you say, yo, Mike, what are you talking about? Why are you bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because I don't know what you believe. Whatever you believe is what you choose to believe. But you got to wonder sometimes, you've heard, don't have sex outside of wedlock. But yes, sex feels so amazing, right? many of you know, y'all that follow me, and I thank you for doing so. Thank you. Please support the show. Please, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, donate a few dollars. You can do so. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. The GoFundMe is out there. It'd be greatly appreciated. The wonderfulness of an orgasm is really hard to explain and to put into words. But how can we deny ourselves these primal urges? These come down to the core of every molecule in our body. It is natural for men to hunt, to pursue when we see something we want, right? And so to refrain, realistically, it's something we're not doing because the population keeps increasing. Births outpace deaths. That's how we up to what, 8 billion? And it's projected to be 10, 12 billion. It's going to keep going. Like, how many people can this planet hold and still keep rotating? It's going to get heavy. The anatomy. I've already given you the beginning of the breakdown. And not just because I'm straight, I won't talk about men. I'm secure enough in my manhood to talk about men, but we easy. Okay? Make us a sandwich, give us some loving. We straight. We're not complicated. And it ain't hard, to my knowledge, to make us bust. Because a lot of women out there say, and I think there's been some songs about it, I don't know, 2 Minute Brother. Because some of y'all men that don't have that control and just, born with maybe extra senses or something, I don't know, like that. But, and I know a couple partners, they had that problem. They bust like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of those and never, ever have been. But when you do bust mad quick, women be like, boo. They don't like that. I can't say I usually, but I have had the opposite complaint. Are you ever gonna bust? And I can if I focus, if I want to, but some of y'all so good can make you just like that. Some of y'all got the skills to pay the bills. So that's why I'm not talking about dudes, because, like I said, for one, I'm straight and we easy. But there are women out there that claim to have never experienced the big O. I that's just the conundrum. It befuddles me. I'm bewildered. I don't understand how you can go through your life without figuring out that combination. You know how you're trying to crack a safe? Like, I'm going to stay there until I figure this out. We're going to figure this out. I don't know. So to those of you, again, who have never, young ladies, old ladies, who have never experienced orgasm, I'm putting you my prayers, and I'm real talk. Pray for you. I hope you can find that. I hope you can get that worked out. Now, I have experienced female orgasms of all kinds, from the uncontrollable shaking to the screaming to the claws in my back to the try to stand up and the knees buckle so they fall, curl up in a fetal position and go right to sleep, like all of that. Okay. And how to prolong it. So the multiples, like, dude, Joe, one and done, we are out, right? We are like, we need some time to bust again. Once again, generally speaking, there's probably those that can bust back to back. I don't know any. I have never seen any. I've watched porn. I've never seen any that could just back to back. We got to refill because it's like a lot on the body. But women, multi-orgasmic, can come for like 30 minutes straight. That shit is astounding. That shit is amazing. And I wouldn't even want to because it's so intense for me. I need a minute. I need a minute to just hold up. We can snuggle, touch, rub, whatever. And I could get back in it relatively quick. That's not the problem. But it's going to take a minute to build that back up. So kudos to the ladies. I can't say that I have envy of that because I just don't want to come that much, that quick, that fast in such a short time frame. You know, I think I would pass out. I would need therapy, like physical therapy for a week or two to get back. If I could buzz like 5 nuts like that fast, it's a wrap. Dude, y'all know how I feel, right? Imagine if you could buzz back to back to back. No, I might lose my mind. I'm just saying, whoo, but two basic types of orgasms, like I said. You know, you got the vaginal, like if you've ever experienced it, dudes, you know, and you in there and she's about to reach that climax and you can feel that contraction. Just like when they're about to have a baby, right? The vagina contracts. It's the same thing. You know, you can feel that and they kind of lose control a bit, right? And there are things you can do to prolong that. There are things you can do to intensify that. I'm not going into that today. Then there is the ejaculate. And my wife and I, you know, when we first started dating, I used to argue with her. I was like, that ain't nothing but some pee coming out you. You do not have like semen. That our semen carries our sperm. Okay, that's our nut. That's our ejaculate. So hopefully this is educational to you for those of you that don't know, that haven't taken the time to learn this. And she swore it wasn't. She's like, this is not urine that's coming out of me. And the jury is out. I could say I'm about 60% convinced. She showed me some articles and some research. And that is a completely different type of orgasm for a woman. Now, dude, listen up closely. Get closer to the speaker. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. It has been my experience that while both of those types of female orgasms are effective and enjoyable by the woman, and if you can supply both, that's great. But the one that's gonna get them, the one that's gonna make you the one, that's going, the memory is that squirt. Typically, there's a couple ways to get it. You can get it from inside or you can get it from clitoral stimulation. Either way you get it if you can. Because there are women, like I said, that don't have any type of orgasm. Then there are women that only have vaginal orgasms. There are women that have never squirted. Because it takes a little, like that diagram that I showed you, you gotta be multitasking and you gotta really focus and you gotta get the combination right and flip this switch and pull a lever and do this and that all simultaneously to get that to happen. But boy, when it does, and if it's their first time doing that, wrap. It's a wrap. Anatomy come in all kinds of intensity levels. I can definitely, you know, speak for myself when I say, you know, I've had those that I'm just, yeah, I'm bust one, you know, it's all right. And then I've had those that, You just think back. Whew. Mm, mm, mm. And there's many things, that can also contribute to that for a male. And, if you've been drinking, I don't know if you do any kind of drugs, but I've heard that those can either enhance or detract from the experience. You know what I'm saying? How much you really attracted to the girl. You know what I'm saying? To the female that you with. What you've eaten can also contribute to that as well. The anatomy of an orgasm can, as I'm doing now, be described with many factors and many levels. You know, it's nature at its best, because I'm I'm not sure. I got children, so I'm hesitant to say this because I was about to say I'm not sure I would want to live without them, but I would because my children and my grandchildren, you know, they mean the world to me. Um, so I would. It would just not be the happiest life. I'm just gonna put it like that. I don't even want to imagine that. It's bummed me, bring me down. Oh, no, no, O's. Oh, horrible. And I recommend daily. I have read that busting a nut every day for a man can reduce the likelihood of prostate cancer for you. Yes. Speaking of the word prostate, I've also heard that prostate stimulation during sex can enhance the orgasm. Never done that. Don't plan on doing that. So pause. And again, I mean no offense to anyone. I don't need to have no more enhancement than what I already have. Because for all of you that don't know, only way to get to the prostate is through the anus. And I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Salad tossing, all of that, I'm good. I like that. But anything else? Anything going in? Nah. That's just me. I know there are those out there that enjoy that. That's just me. Maybe I'm putting limits on myself. Say, yo, Mike, don't look. Just save it. If don't hit me up on the socials or email me and try to advocate for prostate stimulation to enhance my sex life because I just ain't gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it. Not doing it. So that's just me. Maybe a little archaic. Maybe I'm a little less open minded than I thought I was. But that's just me. I'm straight hetero, and that's who I am. You be you, I'll be me. And we don't judge each other. We accept each other for who we are and love each other. So, attention to detail. Important when breaking down the anatomy of an orgasm. You can do a trick. Share another one with you. There's a term for it. I'm trying to remember what it's called. But usually, when breaking down the parts of an orgasm, there's a pre-orgasm, if you will. There's that buildup when you can first feel that it's on its way. It's started to the launch sequence. Stop. Stop whatever you doing that was making that feeling come, no pun intended, and pause. Oh, it's edging. Edging is the term. Get to the edge and then stop. Pause until that feeling subsides a bit, and then go back to what you were doing again. Once you feel that build up again, stop. Stop. And you can do that as many times as you want. It takes a lot of control and focus to be able to do that. Because some people are like, I'm not stopping. Once I feel that feeling, I'm busting. I'm not stopping. And whatever my sex partner was doing, they better not stop neither. Because I am there and I'm ready to cross threshold. I get it. But if you do this edging, if you get to the edge and stop, and like I said, do that as many times as you want to or can, when you finally let yourself go all the way, boom, fireworks are more intense because you've denied yourself and it's right there. You denied yourself, it's right there. So when you do, O to the M to the Jizzy, boom, it's that much more intense. If you hadn't heard that before, you heard it here on the Mike's Opinion podcast. Mike got you back. Logic is unleashed here, baby. So, we're not done. And you say, yo, we done broke it down what to do beforehand, techniques and little secrets, little things to do to get us there. We've had our orgasm. What you mean we're not done? I mean, there's the post-orgasm, which is very important. It's actually part of the anatomy of an orgasm. And you say, yo, Mike, what are you talking about? Hear me out. Aftercare. Now, it depends on your situation. If you're doing a quickie at lunch, maybe you won't have the time. Okay? It's morning, before we got to go handle the morning business, go to work, school, whatever. I get it. But when you have the time, and even if it's a quickie, make the time, spend the extra 5 minutes. Look into your partner's eyes. Touch them where you know they like to be touched. Caress, hold, whisper. Positive vibes come out. Okay? Take a moment to nurture that orgasm you just had. Now, these are for people that may want to, be in love, that really care or like each other. If it's just trick, if it's just, side chick or somebody you just doing for the physical aspect, I get it. Then maybe you may not want to do that. But I'm talking about somebody that you are, into, intimate with, and maybe have a relationship with, married to, engaged to. Those things are part of the post-orgasmic, and to me, included in the orgasm. It almost prolongs the orgasm. Now, yo, dudes, let me tell you something. If you haven't heard this, beware. And you say, yo, Mike, beware of what? What you talking about? You scaring me. Be scared. Be aware that some women know that immediately after we have busted a nut, after we have come, after we have had an orgasm, we are susceptible to suggestions. We wake, they might just be like, my light bill's late. And in your post-nut state of mind, you'd be like, oh, for real, I got you. When you otherwise may not have. You might be like, watch out for the suggestions or what's being said afterwards. That's all I'm going to say. Ladies, I love you. I'm not saying all of y'all may be conniving or deceptive, because you're not. There are some out there that know this. So the trick has been shared. Now, any woman that didn't know that, be like, oh, I'm going to test that theory. Watch out, dudes. Watch out. Yo, my man, watch out. Maybe she's just been wanting you, to fix the fence that you've been saying you're going to fix for 6 months and never fixed. But hey, look, do your own research. This is medical truth, to my knowledge. Maybe not medical truth, but it's a known thing. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, comment. If you're watching on YouTube, you can drop them in the comments there. Or like I said, I welcome any and all feedback. I try to reply to everybody. Any of the socials, I'm on there. Mike's Opinion Podcast. Like I said, you can hit me up, mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. Chime in. I'd love to hear about your orgasms. Ladies, I'd like to hear about your orgasms. Dudes, I don't know. I guess, you want to tell me about one that was awesome and what she did? Go ahead. Like I said, it is what it is. I invite anybody. Like I said, I don't judge. Anybody. Go ahead. Share. I hope you found this at least somewhat informative, and I hope you are okay. As always, I hope you're doing better than okay. I hope you're great. I hope this summer's going to be off the chain in a good way, because we're here now. It is officially summer 2023. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. Especially if you live down here in the dirty in the dirty South. Yo, it is hot as and it's just June still. So, the heat index today was 115. It was only 98 degrees, but when you factor in the humidity, it felt like 115 degrees outside. And like I said, the real hot ain't even here yet. So real talk. Take care of yourself. Be careful out there. Please support the show. I need the cash to grow the show. I appreciate your contribution. $1 right now. Stop the show for just a second. Go to the show notes. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, the GoFundMe. Throw me $5. Support the show. Help me grow. It would be greatly appreciated. If you're just not able to do that right now, you can support the show by sharing it, helping it grow that way. Like, share, follow, comment, subscribe. Do all of that. It's greatly appreciated. And before I close out, lastly, have some orgasms. Have some orgasms. I hope this summer and your future is filled with wonderful, intense, mind-blowing, memorable orgasms, because I love them, and I hope you do too. I'm Mike. This is the Mike's Opinion Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.